is your stuff fully handmade? Everything in your shop? Well, for the most part, I know the watches and stuff like that. But is all the jewelry handmade for the most part, or?
Some stuff like, for example, this piece here, right? You've seen this guy, right, laying around in
Yeah.
the. So this thing you'd have to, back in the days it was more difficult. Now it's a little bit easier. We have the, technology of computer and CAD assistance, computer aid. So now it's a little bit easier as far as molding and how sculpturing goes. Because before we would have to have a block of wax and carve this. If I want to make this task, I would have to carve it and take, spend 4 or 5 hours doing this. You know, versus doing it in the computer, I could probably do this in half the time, and it'll look cleaner once it's printed out. If you have the state of the art equipment, we have expensive printers that print out the waxes and all that. Each printer is about 80,000. We have four of those, and then we have the little ones that are like 35,000 if you want to do like a little quick thing. But stuff like this, to get a high volume in production, you need a lot of printers and a lot of casting machines. So this is actually producing it starts off in the computer, then it goes into casting, and then we just finish it by hand. And this guy here was hand painted, so this guy took some some hours to get all the details painted and all that. So I don't do the paint work here, but we do have one of the best to do the all this stuff. We don't do this in house, but we have the best to do everything. Yeah, but we do
That's
do we do the goldsmith here, all the diamond setting, all this crazy ideas and spinning and all that. But yeah, stuff like the Cubans, like we could do rings, we could do Cubans by hand. So stuff like this, all this stuff is done by hand. You know, all
beautiful,
this, yeah, this is all done by hand, all the way to the lock. We don't do the castings of these locks. A lot of people do this to cut corners. They do the locks by casting. We do everything by hand here. So this takes a little bit more effort to do, but in my eyes, I think if you're spending this much money, what's a couple $100 more to get something to seal off the deal with a handmade box lock that clicks, that won't lose tension as quick as a casted lock will. All these diamonds that we do are hand set, so they start off polished, and then we drill drill the holes. Some people do the shortcuts where they actually cast this with the holes already done, and it's just easier. I just like to do the you know do everything how it's supposed to. I
right?
mean, it's gonna be worth it in the end because you're getting the value here. Some people don't see the value here, but I sure do. And a lot of people, I mean, obviously we have a big following, so a lot of people do appreciate that. And there's always going to be that one guy, that why are you, why are you a couple bucks more gram than this guy? And we have to try to convince them. I go, I don't know, this day and age, I don't know. People still, have to be convinced of why our stuff, why is the different prices? Why does, the different weights, and how does handmade works? What is handmade? Um, because I seen a lot of horrendous things here going through my shop that I have to melt in my torch and redo because of those people that are like we call them the per gram people. So those per
Right.
gram they try to shop the last buck, and then sometimes it just ends in you have to pay double labor. Now you have to buy the piece, pay them to do it, and then you have to get someone else to fix it, either it's with me or anybody else they choose. But man, the jewelry game is horrible. If you don't have the background to show for it, I feel sorry for these guys, man. It's hard.
That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Yeah, you're paying double at the end of the day to get it fixed.
Yeah,
You're paying even extra. If you don't just go with quality up front and you're just
yeah.
looking for the quantity, forget it.
Uh-huh.
That
And
is crazy,
some
man.
people, it is all right to shop for what I'm saying, but don't go nitpicking. What I'm saying?
Right,
Like if you're gonna be doing the program game, don't be nitpicking at the end what you get. If you're
right.
gonna be value and quality, because we're not the most expensive out there. There's a lot of people that are way more expensive and have lower quality because they outsource it, or they have a bigger brand or something, but it's crazy that people be paying sometimes a premium of 50 or 60% more than what we charge and getting less quality because people don't do their homework.
Right.
And then there's the other people, the program people, that will go and buy something cheap and then end up getting something cheap, so it's kind of tricky out there. Sometimes not even if you pay more, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I'm gonna get quality.
Right.
you know they have to do your homework. Where it's
Right.
it's 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 you have to do the homework. Trust your jeweler, whether it's with me or anybody else. You have to trust the reviews. You have to look at the background, see what they, because of the reviews, and that shows a lot. Like if you interact with people, respond to people like on comments or reviews, it shows that at some level that you actually care. There's some people that I see there, they just do a video, let's say on YouTube, good or bad, and they just don't even care to comment. You see me always, if it's Danny Jury, I'm always there commenting, negative or positive. I'm always there. If there's a
Right.
problem fixed, it's gonna be fixed, 100% guaranteed. If it's something that they're happy with, I say, God bless. Thank you for your support, and and we continue on with our day.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
that's it. Yeah, you,
Mhm.
you take pride in what you do, and that's great,
Yeah,
man. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Why shouldn't you take pride in it?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's awesome, man. So I feel like I might know the answer to this, but I want to hear you tell me what's the hardest part about the job that you do?